Okay, so your student, we're in Barton Level 4, Lesson 12. We are learning new vowel teams today. We actually don't have any vowel teams, so this is the first time that we're learning them. Okay, so earlier we learned that a schwa at the end of the word always, or a at the end of the word always changes to schwa. So this word says China, but what if we wanted to spell with a long A sound? We would use our new vowel team. These are called a vowel team because there are two letters that team up together to make a new sound. And in this case, it's just the A sound. So the word here is obviously going to be the word delay. If our student forgot that and put the A here, it would actually say de-la. So we don't want that schwa at the end of the word. So we see AY at the end of many words like display or prepay. We also see it with a banana roll or a schwa in the beginning of this, like away. Very common for the A to say at the beginning of a word, like away, ago. It's also common to see this with a confident rule in the middle, which we learned last, or a couple, I can't remember how many sessions ago. Holiday, so a short I in the middle. This word does not say holiday, holiday. And then we take a look at a word like baby, and I would ask your student to divide it, and they would divide it, and we would say this is an open A, and it says A, but at the end of the word, what is the Y saying? The Y is saying E, and that is the most common way to spell the letter Y at the end of a word is when it makes that E sound, okay? So then we take a look at this one syllable word. What's the word? Is the word free or is the word fry? Well, we know that this word is the word fry, so we need a different way to spell the E sound at the end. We can't spell it with a Y like baby because in these one syllable words, the Y changes to the I sound, like fry and buy and a couple others, right? So we need a new vowel team, which is this double E here, okay? And we use this in a lot at the end of a lot of words, like three and something with a schwa, like agree. And then we get to a word like chimpanzee, and they have two choices now. They have a Y and they have an EE. Let's just remember that the Y is always going to be your first choice for spelling. The EE is pretty uncommon. So your student, I encourage them to look it up if they're not sure so that they can start mapping that word in their brain. So in this case, many students are surprised to find out that chimpanzee ends with the EE. So those are our two new vowel teams. That was the first thing that your student learned. Your second thing that your student learned is that the letter Y right here says I in one syllable words and now a handful of multi-syllable words. So we have a word like supply. If you hear the I at the end, it cannot be spelled with the letter I because American words do not end with the letter I. So we have a word like supply or July or multiply. We also talk about if we were reading this word, we might need to read it first as multiply if we were unfamiliar with it because the most common thing that the Y says is actually the E. So let's take a look at a couple additional resources that you probably have to use. The first one is going to be a spelling guide for the end of the word. This will come with the written summary that you get from your tutor. And we can see in here that we have a couple things that it's categorized just for the end of the word. Okay, so A is spelled A-Y. E, your first choice for spelling is the Y, and your second choice for spelling is the EE. Okay, so that's what we have here. On the bottom, you can see that we've filled in another type of syllable that they're learning right here. So they learn vowel team syllable right here. Let's get my annotation up. right here. So they learned it in 412. So now we have closed syllables, we have open syllables, we have unit syllables, and now we also have vowel team syllables. Another place that this could be categorized is in the Barton notebook. And so the things that your student learned today would be a Y at the end. Whoops. They learned that we have two ways to spell the E sound. We have the regular vowel Y, and now we have vowel team EE. And then if you hear I at the end of the word, it's spelled with a Y. So those are all the things that we learned so far. Okay, let's switch gears into the practice pages. We are starting with extra practice number 3. And we will be working on finding rhyming words. So we have unify, vilify, display and dismay, delay and relay, coffee and toffee, glee, decree, no, glee and flee, degree and decree, and pry and shy. Okay, I went ahead and filled out this next part for us. Create a real word by putting a vowel or a vowel team in the blank line. I always like my students to read the word after that. And then for the last one, pretty straightforward, just create lines between a who, a did, what, a where, and an add-on to make a real sentence. So that's the first part, and now let's look at fluency. Fluency, we're going to work on all of these new words. I mean, like we have some interesting words like the word nominee. So if I was dividing this up, I would mark my vowels. I know that this is nom, I, ni. If they didn't know the word nominee, they would probably push this to the back at first and then push this to the back. And this would say nominy, nominy, not the word we want. So then they would have to move the division to the other side to create a closed syllable in nominee. So a couple, looks like there's a couple compound words in here like expressway and midway, ashtray. So again, make sure your student is in control of these words and not guessing. If they're starting to guess, they need to stop and they need to decode. Let's take a look at a couple ways to decode. We'll do the word defray here. So I mark my vowel on my vowel team. I am going to push these both to the back. In this case, the word is defray. This, as a reminder, students need to watch out for rotten letters, okay? A rotten letter is an R or an L. Usually we keep those together as a blend. So often, instead of dividing down the middle like we do with most words, when there's two letters in the middle, like the word toffee, we would just split those two letters. That's a typical way. But in the word defray, now we have to keep those together because that blend is in the middle. Let's do the word jubilee. Jubilee. This is a straight division, so we've got all of our vowels marked. We're going to push it to the back, and we're going to push it to the back. This will make it short sound, so the only thing odd about this word is that it is making the confident sound, the confident rule, the short I in the middle. Jubilee. It's not jubilee. Okay. Same thing with this. You can do the same exact thing. Again, great time to work on vocabulary. So a word like MC, they might not know what that is. Great time to talk about it. So make sure that your student is decoding and not guessing. All right, that's it for 412.